camp, guess what? I want to get in there and I want to fight.
And you want to get paid, and that's what Oscar Valdez says. I'm not going to give it all up. I'm not going to fail my promoter. I'm not going to miss this chance to be on national television. And all that was more than the 3 pounds in his point of view in terms of importance.
It's worth mentioning, by the way, that this is, in fairness, entirely out of character for Quigg,
yes,
who spends basically his whole life in the gym. As Freddie Roach, his trainer, says, one of the reasons he loves training him is that he has no life except for the gym. He hangs out with his mom. He goes to Starbucks with his
right
mom.
there from Valdez. I mean, yeah, but she's not here to help him out, my man. And then a body shot there by Oscar Valdez, and it looks like Quigg felt that.
Absolutely, Quigg felt that. Quigg doesn't have a lot of defense. He stands there with the earmuffs on. Valdez is going to be landing right hooks and left hooks all night long and going down to that body because Quigg stands right in front of you and drops down. I won't be surprised if Valdez hurt him with an uppercut.
And his mobility may be hindered, and I'm talking about the Englishman here. But so far, as long as Valdez is in range, he's going to try to connect early on in this fight and establish the fact that he is now more of an offensive fighter under Freddie Roach.
The best way for Valdez to establish himself is to keep pumping that jab.
Round 2 of our main event between Oscar Valdez and Scott Quigg. Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. told Oscar, the Mexican fight fans love you. And why is that, Tim?
Because guess what? Oscar Valdez goes down to that body, that left hook to the body, the signature. You see right there, Scott Quigg leaning over, like I said. You see Valdez finding home for that left hook right behind the elbow of Quigg.
Uppercut too, and when he's got to protect that body, you're gonna have openings, and Oscar Valdez creating those openings early on here in round 1. But there's a key punch for him, Mark, that he's got to continue to use.
Well, it's the jab, except that what we've just seen is a beautiful left hook to the body. In the last fight, he says he had to learn from that last fight with Genesis Cervania to jab more, to pull out more effectively, as we just saw, not straight out, not with his hands down. I think it starts with that jab.
And when you look across the ring and you see a guy like Scott Quigg, who's got no quit in him, he fought 8 rounds with a broken jaw because it was broken in round 4. He said at the 6th round, luckily he landed an uppercut and it numbed it, but nonetheless, the body shots are very different, Tim.
Ooh, that body work right now is serving Valdez very well, especially that left hook to the body. I saw Quigg lean forward and kind of put that elbow down into by his side. That's how you know when you hurt a guy to the body.
You happy now, Tim? See enough body work here?
Absolutely. Valdez is having his way right now. He's controlling the distance and range when he gets out. He's not dropping his hands when he's pulling back. And guess what? He's going to the body. Those are the keys of victory tonight. Go down to that body, come around that defense, because that's Quigg's defense, and work that body, baby.
There was a lot made in the last couple fights of everything Valdez throwing being one tempo, straight up, hard as he can. And there's a question whether that tires him out. Freddie Roach says it tires him out in the middle rounds. Quigg says it as well. And Valdez says it's not throwing those punches hard that tires you out. The only thing that tires you out is missing them.
Well, he's not doing much missing early on here against Quigg, and you know, it may become academic if Oscar Valdez continues at this pace, but just to remind you that Quigg cannot win the title tonight because he did not make the featherweight limit. So Oscar Valdez making the 4th defense. Were he to lose, it would become a vacant title.
Valdez right now is showing his boxing ability right now, using his IQ right now. He took a little mustard off those punches. He's just trying to touch Quigg right now. I think he's trying to set him up for a body shot.
Quigg trying to turn things around here as a round number 2 comes to an end. And let's listen in. Look in his eyes like he wants to come out and punish. And Mark, I mean, his story of loving animals and wanting to be great, this is how you become great.
Well, you become great by taking risks, you also become great by trusting one trainer, one voice. And his relationship with Manny Robles is striking. Robles first started cheering for him as the coach of the Sri Lankan team. In 2009, he saw him in Milan, and Valdez, here's this guy, Viva Mexico, Viva Mexico. He looks up, he goes, I think this guy's a crazy fan. And he became his coach, so much so that Robles was willing to go to Mexico and train and lose other fighters.
Yeah, he did. He
including Mick Conlan.
Mick Conlan, Jason Quigley, but nonetheless, this is the jewel in his stable. Oscar Valdez, as well as Jesse Magdaleno. That body work, and Quig went low twice in this round already, Tim. And there finally we get the first warning from Dr. Lou Moret, the third man in the ring, as Quig is trying to find the formula. What would your instructions be for Quig?
Well, Quig needs to, he's the taller man, and also he has the longer reach. Control the distance from the outside with the jab. Definitely go down and bang the young guy to the body, because you definitely want to weaken him, and land that right hand and try to put a little bit pressure on him, but a little bit smarter than what he's doing right now.
Yeah.
And get him to pull out like Valdez like to do, pull out with his hands down and throw that right hand.
Tim, you know, what I'm seeing though, you mentioned earlier that Valdez learned something, knows himself better, having survived a knockdown. But we're also seeing an improved, more mature, more school fighter. This is a guy saying, I have to fix certain things. And from what we're seeing so far, look how he just got out. He has learned those lessons. He's taken it to heart.
He's boxing. He's boxing him right now, like his trainers told him to do in boxing. He's trying to let Quig walk into something.
And, you know, then we see the warning, the second warning for Quig, this time for holding the neck of Valdez down as he punches. But Manny Robles told us, hey, you tell a fighter 1,000 times in the gym, this is what you're doing wrong. But until they get dropped on their butt like he did against Genesis Cervania, that's when they realize, okay, something's got to change. And those are the adjustments that Oscar Valdez is making here against Quig.
You see right there, Valdez exited out real close to the body. He did it right that time. Had his hands down a bit, but he exited out to the side gate. Quig is having a little success with that overhand right, I see. Valdez is throwing that jab from too close that time.
10 seconds.
And his mouth is open as round number 3 comes to an end in tonight's main event.
Left hook, right uppercut. Let's go, put it in. Come back in, finish with those. 3-punch combination, okay? Alright? You need more combinations, okay? Alright? Keep backing him up, okay? Check it out.
All right, between the third and fourth round, Freddie Roach was telling Scott Quig, you got to keep backing him up, but you got to throw more combinations, because that one-punch stuff is not going to work against Valdez. And in the fighter meetings, he said, I'm not going to let Valdez rest in between his punches. Has he been doing that, Tim, or has Valdez been effective in his
Valdez has been effective because he's boxing. He's using that jab like he's doing. He's stepping around. He's throwing the left hook to try to get around. You see the good defense right there. But I'm telling you, right now, I see that right hand right there. That right hand. You know, Valdez gets a little complacent with his defense, dropping his left hand. And Quig, being a smart, intelligent fighter, trying to land that overhand right on Valdez. So he needs to be careful.
Nice body work there from Valdez, but he took a nice body shot from Scott Quig earlier on in this round. Probably the best 2 punches we've seen from Scott Quig, and we know Quig has no quit in him, Mark.
No, as what we would call an educated brawler.
That's one way of putting it. I think a very precise way of putting it.
Quigg, you're seeing a guy who dropped out of school at 15 with his mother's blessing because he saw himself as a world champion.
He did make that dream come true, Tim. Now, I want to ask you something about fighting outdoors because we see Valdez's mouth is open. We see the steam coming from both of these fighters. But in terms of, it's a lot colder than when you fought here, right?
Well, it's a lot colder. I don't remember how cold it was when I fought. It was hot in the ring, man. Against Vodnikov. But, you know, his mouth is open right now. It's the 4th round. You know, he hasn't settled down yet. And plus, he has a big guy coming at him. Like I said, Quigg could be 140 pounds right now. And Valdez is moving, picking up his feet, using the angles and that jab like that, having a lot of success against Quigg.
Well, Tim, you were right in a way, and you're wrong because he was 142.2 tonight. So, I mean, you talk about a guy rehydrating and wanting to come in heavier and bigger. He got everything he got out of not weighing in at 126. He took full advantage.
So the question is, you know, there was talk whether he had a stress fracture or not. It's still incumbent on him to make that weight or to provide a reason that he can't. Was it a screw up or was it tactical? Did he come in there to be the bigger bully?
That's the big question. 135.6 was the weight for Oscar Valdez, who said, I don't care how much he weighs, I'm going to punish him. And as long as he keeps boxing like he did earlier on, maybe he won't be able to move him as much as he did earlier on in the fight or other
Slightly
fighters.
different round to me. This is the round that Quigg really started bullying a little. Well, this is beginning of the 5th round. This is precisely when Quigg and Freddie told us Valdez would tire and Quigg would pick up the pace.
All right, let's see if that happens. But the body work for Quigg efficient early on in the round as it was in the 3rd and 4th rounds as Oscar Valdez going toe-to-toe, but he's not able to move the bigger man like he would usually.
A smaller guy. He's in there against a junior welterweight. Of course, you know, Quigg is trying to walk through Valdez stuff right now. He's having success right now, getting close.
And maybe this is why you make a guy step on the scale. You know, you can be cursed with your own courage sometimes.
Yeah, but like I said, I think Valdez, with that amateur pedigree, the fact that he can box just as well as he can brawl, I think he can find a way to win.
That's exactly what he's trying to do here against a veteran in Scott Quigg, who will come forward, who will take punishment in order to dish out his own shots. And it's the body work that Freddie Roach was asking for, which has been efficient for both guys. I mean, it was working early in the fight for Oscar Valdez, and we were giving him credit, and now we got to give credit to Scott Quigg for using the same tactic.
Yes, Scott Quigg is getting close. He's smothering Valdez's shots right now, and he's trying to land body shots. He's trying to slow down Valdez.
He's using his size to bull his way in.
And the legs of Oscar Valdez wobbled a little bit there as the strength of Scott Quigg's wide left hook connected on the chin of Valdez. And here, the size differential can become huge, and it's the moment of the fight where Valdez tends to weaken, and that's what Freddie Roach was betting on here tonight.
Stop. Come on, clean, okay? Come on.
Right, Quigg was expecting Valdez to kind of slow his rhythm and take advantage. And now we see the cut over the left eye of Scott Quigg. He paws at it, he feels his own blood. Let's see how he reacts to it, Tim.
Now this is the time you take advantage.
Oh, that's what Valdez does, but now Valdez gets caught after landing a left hook to the body. A big right by Scott Quigg, and Valdez has to hold on here in round number 5. Quigg smells blood. He feels the weakening of Oscar Valdez. Can he take advantage in the final 25 seconds of round number 5? He lands it right again. Valdez looking to counter. 10 seconds. Tension from the crowd as round number 5 comes to an end. Quigg wobbled, and we saw that in the Cervania fight. Yep. Why did he get clipped with the right?
He got clipped with that right hand because he made that mistake. Freddie Roach told us that, hey, we're gonna put that pressure on him. We're gonna make him, he's gonna result back to what he always does. You know, we heard Valdez said that they went back, watched the tape, they knew, they worked on their mistakes, and guess what? Guess what happened? He pulled back with his hands down. What did Quigg do? Man, that right hand wobbled Valdez, the champion.
Now Valdez trying to load up with that left hand, be it downstairs or upstairs. He wants to connect with the left hook and the body shot with the right. And the blood coming out of the mouth of Oscar Valdez.
What you want to do if I was Valdez right now, what I would do is I would use my jab and my boxing ability, and every chance I get, I'll go downstairs. I'll work my hands just like that, smother him and tie him up just like that, and not allow Quigg to just bully me and do what he wants in there.
It's a lot harder than just taking that instruction. If you could keep him off just by the jab, he would. I mean, Freddie's instruction the other day is our strategy is not to outbox this guy. I think we can outpunch him. Just keep the pressure on him.
Tim threw 1,000 punches in this same ring against Ruslan Provodnikov. So if that's the case, he may need to do that against Valdez.
One of the greatest and most terrifying fights I've ever seen, Tim. Thank you for the thrill.
There's a combination punching now from Oscar Valdez as Quigg. If he comes in without throwing punches, Tim, Quigg is a whole different guy. And there we see the push from Quigg and Dr. Lou Moret right on top of it.
But the punches don't seem to be discouraging Quigg.
He's fighting a junior welterweight now.
That's my point exactly.
Great job in the corner of Quigg, too, with that cut. So we got to give credit there to the corner of Scott Quigg. And the mouth of Oscar Valdez continues to bleed. How's that going to affect him in this fight?
Man, he's spitting out blood coming out of his mouth. I don't know how, honestly, I ain't never been cut inside my mouth like that. But I know it's nasty. Blood dripping down in the back of your throat could affect your breathing a little bit.
Well, Quigg certainly knows what that's like after his bout with Frampton. Here's the thing, we all applaud Oscar Valdez for walking into the ring tonight and saying, I'm gonna punish him and being oblivious to the weight limit. But tomorrow when he wakes up, he'll be the guy who took all the risk. And his career is not gonna go forward on our praise from tonight.
You know, I spoke to Frank Espinoza right before this fight, and he said, I advised them, don't go in the ring. But it's your decision, and that's what Oscar Valdez did as an adult, decide to go in there, not wanting to disappoint the fans, and in a way,
he's paying the price for you. The fans and the broadcasters, they're not paying this price right now. They're not the ones getting hit.
Freddie Roach knew they had a window between rounds 5 and 7 to do some damage on Oscar Valdez. This is round number 7 of this fight, and Scott Quigg will continue to try to pour it on against Valdez. And even Freddie Roach said, Valdez, he comes back strong late in the fight, not because of his skill, but because of his courage.
Because of his courage. And he's showing that right now. But I see a sense of urgency in Quigg right now. He feels that he has Valdez right now, dancing to his beat.
Well, that beat is the body shot from Quigg and that overhand right as Valdez goes once again with those hands down. That's dangerous.
That's super dangerous. And Valdez is resulting back to what he normally does. He needs to correct that bad habit if he's gonna move up. I continue to say that every time he fights.
Your best and worst habits come out under pressure.
Couldn't say it any better, Mark.
That's why he's a writer. Puts that on paper, and now he puts it to voice here on Top Rank Boxing on ESPN.
Valdez, one of the striking things when you sit down with him, apart from how personable he is, but you know, a guy spends his life in the ring, and you can see the cuts, you can see the nicks, you can see the scars. He's never been cut, except tonight, inside his mouth. Something terrible is going on there.
Yeah, and it could be more than a cut, and nobody better than Scott Quigg to know what Oscar's fighting through. Look at the way the mouth is leaning towards one side. It could be worse than just a cut. The way Oscar Valdez's mouth is now open, I mean, this kid's fighting through something special.
Valdez is a warrior. That's why I love Oscar Valdez fights. He's a warrior. He's been through it. I told you the 2 fights before this, he had a war with Mariaga and he had a war with Genesis Cervania. He's ready for this moment right now.
He's going to have to dig deep against Scott Quigg, a man who's dug as deep as a man can dig in a world title fight against Carl Frampton, fighting 8 rounds with a broken jaw. Could the same be happening to Oscar Valdez here tonight?
I don't know. I don't know what the condition of his jaw is. I know that he's acquitted himself courageously tonight. It may be a thankless task. If he should win tonight, this will go down as a great one for his career.
Hero status for Oscar Valdez. Todd Grisham was listening in the corner of Oscar Valdez. How serious is this, Todd?
Well, they don't believe it's his jaw. They think he bit his tongue or somehow injured the inside of his mouth, but they're definitely saying it's not his jaw. It's an internal mouth injury. They believe he bit down on his tongue, and that's what's causing all the blood.
All right, well, that's better news for Valdez in one sense, but in another sense, the tongue bleeds a lot, and so he'll have to continue to deal with that after round number 7 of this 12-round championship fight here on Top Rank Boxing on ESPN. It's Mick Collin, the Olympian, taking on Luis Fernando Molina. Don't miss next week's main event from New York City. All right, Oscar Valdez, 8th round, looking to dig deep and prove his mettle as a Mexican champion.
He trained in altitude in Mexico to help his endurance. There's some debate as to whether training in altitude actually helps you or not. Thank goodness he apparently stayed away from the perilous Mexican beef.
Well, the thing that he said was, as an amateur, when he was a two-time Olympian from Mexico, he was in Mexico City. He said, I used to feel like I had 2 gas tanks when I would step into the ring. Well, he's proven to himself that he can go 12 rounds in his last 2 fights. A war here at the StubHub Center against Marriaga and then against Genesis Cervania. So here, you see that blood just dripping from his mouth, Tim.
Yeah, and at the start of the round, he went to the corner and he spit on top of the ropes. I don't like that right hand. Quigg is landing. Quigg is loving it. Oscar Valdez is not loving it at all. It's the right hand. He's sneaking it over the top of the jab. See how Valdez pulls his hands down when he steps back to just take a breather. So Quigg is doing exactly what he said he wanted to do.
Also he doesn't naturally throw straight punches. I don't mean that they're haymakers.
Yeah.
They're precise, but they always have a little arc to them.
Big left hook there from Scott Quigg, caught partially by the glove of Oscar Valdez. But Valdez looking for solutions here in the 8th round of this 12th round championship fight.
Well, one solution would be to let his hands go, like he sometimes do, but also tie up. Have you seen anybody tie up during this fight? Oscar Valdez never ties guys up.
He did earlier in this fight when he got caught with the overhand right, Mark.
I'll tell you what this is. This is another great StubHub fight. This is exactly what we talk about when we talk about a StubHub fight.
Big left hook to the body from Oscar Valdez, but Quigg walks right through it and continues to come forward, and that's got to be disheartening for Valdez at this point.
Quigg right now is having success. He's moving forward. You see about the heart of Valdez as he's come back and responds to Quigg's 2 shots that he landed while he was against the ropes.
See, I look at this fight, I'm still seeing what doesn't look like a fair fight. They don't look like the same size guy.
Well, that's the reason for it. 144 pounds, 142.2 and 135.6 at the time to step into the ring. This is for a 126-pound weight class, so it's working for Scott Quigg, although he'll get a ton of criticism if he comes out on top for taking advantage of the situation. Oscar Valdez looking for answers here as round 8 is about to come to an end at the StubHub Center, and we've mentioned this is a fight worthy of this venue as he goes over to the red corner. I mean, we've had some incredible fights happen in this venue. This will go down probably as one of those. The bloody mouth of Oscar Valdez and the bloody eye of Scott Quigg, and here comes Valdez. You know, they expected this from Quigg's corner, said it's not so much the skill, but it's the heart of Valdez that keeps him pushing forward.
Again, now we're getting into the later rounds, and we're seeing an uptick in Valdez's activity, exactly as Freddie said.
All right, after 8 complete rounds, real quick.
Body shot he threw early in the fight.
All right, our colleague Dan Raphael, who was our unofficial scorer, has it 77-74 for Oscar Valdez. I have it a lot closer than that at this particular juncture. But anything can happen in this fight. Nice work to the body, and then the uppercut from Scott Quigg as Oscar Valdez tries to answer with his own and then goes with the overhand right, chopping at the head of Scott Quigg, who leaves that wide open, and then he goes downstairs to the body. This is a toe-to-toe battle, Mexico and Manchester, England.
I can't help but be taken with the heart of Oscar Valdez. He's cut inside his mouth. He's fighting a much bigger guy, and he remains undiscouraged. That's what great champions do.
All right, Tim, in between rounds, they didn't want to touch the mouthpiece of Oscar Valdez. They didn't take it out. What does that mean?
Well, I guess they're trying to keep it, whatever's going on in there, they're trying to keep it inside. You know, I would take the mouthpiece out and wash his mouth out, rinse it out, get the blood up out of his mouth.
Means he's losing a lot of blood is what that means. It's not like a cut over the eye. It's not like you can put adrenaline on.
All right, well, here the adrenaline inside Valdez's body is coming out because he connected some beautiful shots. A nice uppercut and an overhand right on Quigg, and then the left hook to the body, but then the double left hook from Scott Quigg.
You see the cross defense of Scott Quigg right now. Old school. I haven't seen that in a while, man, when you have a George Foreman. George Foreman.
Oh, nice left hook to the body there from Valdez as Quigg opened up with the right hand.
You're seeing that left to the body that you saw from Valdez the first 2 rounds. And, you know, metaphorically, point of fact, you can't be more motivated, have more urgency than tasting your own blood.
But do you see where the hands at? From them body shots, do you see where Quigg's hands are at right now? They're by his side. Those body shots are having an effect right now. Valdez should maybe fake to the body and go to the head with a left hook or something.
Solid finish here to round number 9. This is a StubHub Center fight. Valdez Quigg, Top Rank Boxing on ESPN. This is round 10 of a 12-round affair where Scott Quigg cannot win the world title tonight because he did not make weight. He's using that advantage to the fullest tonight against Oscar Valdez, whose teeth are out of line. They're offline if you get a chance to look at it later on. Nonetheless, his heart is right where it needs to be, Tim.
He's putting his heart on the line. He's behaving like a champion. He's fighting through pain. That's what champions do. You fight through pain. And also, Scott Quigg right there using the old trick that you do. You know, you get a guy that bends down, you want to force him down, take them legs away.
And you force him down with the body shot like Oscar Valdez there. And he continues to punish Scott Quigg. The weight, that is a huge difference here tonight in how powerful or lack of power Valdez has against Quigg. But that's not going to keep him from throwing punches tonight, Mark.
He's become better as he's become bloodier. The fight's worn on, and he hasn't, there's nothing diminished about him.
There may be something diminished in the nose of Scott Quigg. It looks like it's
something
deviated septum. And so, I mean, when you look at this, you got a guy with the possible broken jaw, a guy with the possible broken nose. This is boxing. This is what you came to see. Are you entertained? Because Valdez and Quigg are here to give it to you and give you their heart, their passion, their soul.
And
nice right hand there from Valdez. Quigg still walks him down.
I don't think he knows any other way.
nah. This man, there's no quitting this dog. I mean, he fought with a broken jaw. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Big left hook there from Quigg as Valdez takes it and moves forward.
Quigg right now, I don't know. He stepped back. There's something must be going wrong right now. He's not attacking like he normally was doing early on during the round and during the last couple of rounds. He's sitting back now. What is he waiting on?
See, look at his face.
Mexico, Mexico is what the crowd is yelling here at the StubHub Center, and give them all credit for showing up. It's pouring outside and it's pouring punches inside the ring as well, as Valdez and Quigg are putting on a show. Valdez with a nice combination, but here comes Quigg.
Quigg right there followed Valdez out. He followed him out with that and caught him with the left hook.
pressure of Quigg. He said, I'm not going to let him rest when he throws the punches. That's been the difference between every opponent until tonight. He's keeping that true, but is it enough? In his last 3 fights under Freddie Roach, Scott Quigg connects on or throws 84% of his punches as power punches. Tonight, look at that, 411 power punches. That's about 75% compared to the 102 that he's landed. I mean, this guy goes for broke, but the percentage connected by Oscar Valdez at 36, very efficient.
We came into this fight, the discussion was dominated by the flaws of Oscar Valdez, and what I will leave here with is a sense of his virtue.
Yeah, Valdez has definitely shown improvements, I believe, you know, in his craft. He actually tied up there for the second time, I believe, in this fight.
In his career.
But what I love is that he's using his hand speed right now. You see, using his hand speed, he can't hurt this big guy. He's not just trying to throw one hard shot at a time. He's letting his hands go right now.
Big left from Scott Quigg, and Valdez comes back with something of his own. Both guys are leaning in, Tim. Somebody makes a mistake and gets paid. That could be the big difference.
I want to see the uppercut from these guys. Both guys are vulnerable right now at this point. You know, fatigue gets set in. Valdez is showing the heart of a champion. Both of these guys need to be commended for the performance that they've given the fans tonight.
The ropes is probably not where Valdez wants to be.
Fatigue may be setting in, but it hasn't stopped Valdez from boxing.
And it is all over.
What he doesn't have, or doesn't seem to have at this weight, is the power that's due him as a featherweight. His normal power.
Yes, because of the weight of Scott Quigg coming into this fight at 142.2. Nonetheless, both of these fighters are just pounding here in the championship rounds. To think that we have 4 more minutes of this as Scott Quigg has a chance to win the fight, but not the belt, as he did not make the featherweight limit.
Quigg the other day said, I want to leave the ring recognized as the British Mexican.
Oh, big left there from Scott Quigg. Valdez takes it, and it's going to come back with more.
And I think what people are going to leave with is the utmost admiration for Valdez.
But Valdez wants it more than the admiration. He wants the adulation. He wants his belt, and that's a low blow from Scott Quigg. Now here Valdez would do what to take the full 5 minutes, Tim.
Well, you can take the 5 minutes, take advantage of it, absolutely, recover, but also Quigg can recover as well.
Let's take a look at the shot. Oh!
Yes, right on the money.
No doubt about that one.
Walk around.
Very low, and that'll go on the Scott Quigg no-no list of what he's done for this fight.
Both guys at this point, each of their faces are grotesque masks.
Yes.
Pick him up.
I would have taken a lot more time if I were Valdez. Tell you that.
Oh, big left hook from Oscar Valdez. And Quigg now is hurt here at the end of round 11. Can Valdez finish this off? You know Valdez is going to punch. You know Quigg is going to punch. Who's going to get caught? Valdez coming out looking to finish this fight, just like he did at the end of round 11. You've been in this moment, Tim. The crowd's going to be pumping. His adrenaline's pumping. What gives?
What gives? Nothing. You in a championship. It's a championship fight. You know, nothing gives. I know Quigg doesn't get the belt, but you know what? If he wins this fight, he moves up in stature by beating this champion in Valdez.
Let him go. Step back. Step back.
Regardless of what happens tonight, both fighters will be in other great fights. And when we look at the list of great fights here at StubHub, be it Tim Bradley, Ruslan Provodnikov, Israel Vasquez, Rafael Marquez, Lucas Matisse, John Molina, Brandon Rios, Mike Alvarado. We can keep going and going and going, but somewhere on that list will be Valdez Quigg.
Oh, yeah. This is a war, a bloodbath.
What I think you're seeing tonight is the emergence of Oscar Valdez as a great fighter. I understand his flaws, but what we're seeing here tonight, hurt against the bigger guy, is special.
People love flawed fighters. The beauty of it is he's a flawed fighter in the ring and a great person outside of it.
He's not too flawed, by the way, but the flaws, no, but the stylistic flaws make him compelling. It makes him vulnerable.
I'll pay to see Oscar Valdez any day. I've had the privilege alongside Tim to call the Mariaga fight, and now we have this one as well as the Silvania fight. I mean, this guy is impressive.
This is a little different than the previous two.
It is completely. He's had to dig deeper than ever tonight, and that's
why I say it's special.
But think about it, he had to go through those other 2 fights to get to this point, because if he didn't go through those other 2 fights, I don't think we see Oscar Valdez standing up in this fight.
All right, let's give the fans a gift. You're watching at home. Listen to the crowd react for this final 50 seconds of this fight.
Max DeLuca and Terry O'Connor both scored at 117, 111. Larry Hazard Jr. scored at 118 to 110. All 3 scorecards go to the winner by unanimous decision. And still undefeated, still the WBO featherweight champion of the world, Oscar Valdez Jr.
Any champion out there, I heard Shakur Stevenson wants to fight. Let's do it.
Oscar Valdez, I'm coming. I'm coming. I don't care about none of y'all. What's up?
That is it. It's over. That was human dynamite. Absolutely explosive.
Fighting out of the blue corner, he weighed in at 130 pounds even, wearing red trunks with silver and white trim. He brings a record of 13-1-2 with 9 wins coming by way of knockout. From Mayagüez, Puerto Rico, Felix La Sombra Caraballo. And fighting out of the red corner, he also weighed in at an even 130 pounds, wearing black trunks with gold trim. He brings a record of 13-0, 7 wins coming by way of knockout. He is from Newark, New Jersey, the 2016 Olympic silver medalist, the current WBO featherweight champion of the world. He is making his super featherweight debut, Shakur Stevenson!
Okay, gentlemen, you both received your instructions in your dressing room. Okay, it's got a wide band here. Only this is good, and that's low. Right here was good, and this is low. I want a good, clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. Above all, protect yourselves at all times. Let's go.
And let's go with the next chapter to be written in the book of Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson, who is co-managed by our ESPN broadcaster, Andre Ward, who has recused himself from calling the fight. So it's Joe Tessitore and Tim Bradley. Glad you're with us here. The return of live boxing under COVID-19 protocol.
Stop.
Timmy, what are you going to be looking for early on here?
You know what? Right now, it's funny because I like what I'm seeing from Caraballo right now. He's pressing on the gas pedal, you know, taking risks. He's going to have to sell out, and he knows that, and he's getting right to Shakur Stevenson at the moment.
It's exactly what he said he would do, and likely exactly what he has to do if he wants to hit the lottery ticket at all as a massive underdog against Stevenson. As he gets into that pocket.
Yeah, when you...
Well, hands-free.
Yeah, Tess, when you're fighting against a slippery fighter like Shakur Stevenson, you want to hit him anywhere you can, on the shoulders, on the elbows, on the chest. You just want to continue to get contact on him.
You know, that's a great point, Tim, and sometimes it's grossly undervalued in what you say. Just land, just throw, just try to get anything going. You always talk about that ability to find perfect range and distance with Stevenson. He gets off a 4-punch combination, including a right hand to the body. That was effective.
Caraballo just sitting a little bit too long in the front, not moving in. And then, like I said, Shakur Stevenson, great at managing distance from his opponent. And he can fight at any quarter. He can fight in the pocket. He can fight at mid-range, and he also can fight outside. But right now, he's being an aggressive dog.
Look at the hand speed on Stevenson. Tremendously
You know, you can just tell right away, Tess. You're right. You're right. The hand speed. You can see the skill level is different. But Caraballo, you can tell he's tough. He's taking a lot of leather on the way in just to get one shot.
Reminder, fanless atmosphere with COVID-19 protocols at the MGM Grand Conference Center, but you hear the murmur in the background, and you can join in that with Hear Me Cheer on any device. Go to espn.hearmecheer.com. You will hear your voice, your cheers heard live during our broadcast. That is espn.hearmecheer.com. That is being ruled a knockdown by Tony Weeks.
There's a possibility, Tess, that their feet got tangled, because that typically happens when you have a right-handed fighter versus a southpaw. You see the lead feet, they line up on the same side. See, every time Caraballo sits there with the earmuffs on and sits mid-range and don't do anything, you see what Shakur Stevenson does. Go right to him and land and throws and combinations.
Round number 2 in that first round, Shakur Stevenson scoring a knockdown with a body punch. He was effective with his punching in that first round, landing 22 of 47 power punches thrown.
Yes, Tess, I thought that their feet might have got tangled up. But you can see here, Caraballo putting those earmuffs on, blocking his vision. And you see Shakur Stevenson doubling up with the left hand, with actually his lead hand to the head and also to the body, which causes a knockdown.
Doubling up that right hand, the right hand to the body, scoring the knockdown in round number 1. The accuracy is just sublime, Timmy. He's so accurate and effective in placing his punches. And there is that power hand, the left hand to the body now.
But you see where he's choosing to be. Shakur wants to be on the outside, he'll maintain outside distance. If he wants to be in the inside, he can fight in close quarters as well. So if guys think that they're just gonna come inside with this young man, no, you got something coming. He has great offense in the inside as well.
Let's check in with Bernardo.
Ooh,
that right hand was clipping. He drove that right hand down, and now Stevenson has Caraballo in trouble. Left hand to the head.
Showing that power, Tess.
Taking those steps forward. Look at the hand speed, and now sitting down a little more and looking for the shot and finding it.
That's exactly what he's doing right now. He's being patient right now, letting Caraballo throw wildly. He's looking for the opening right now. Shakur Stevenson is.
Creating a little space with that right hand. Just look in his eyes. See that laser focus on the target. So effective with that left hand moments ago. Lead left there, comes back with a check right hook. 3-punch combination from
That's
Stevenson.
exactly what he wanted, Tess. He wanted to get on the outside to land that backhand. That's the straight left hand. He wanted to get full extension on his punches to be able to hurt Caraballo.
13-0
Caraballo
featherweight champion.
stalking.
Covered up, and Shakur lets loose with a 3-punch combination.
Yeah, but you see Caraballo just walking straight forward, not even shooting a jab to lead his action.
And Shakur
That's
making
why he's
him pay
taking
the
so
price
much
for
leather
doing
on the
so.
way
Yes. And the 2. Of course, expectation that Shakur Stevenson will show power tonight against Caraballo. He has so far. In that last round, second round, he landed 29 of 55 power punches thrown. When we talked to him about how he thought the fight would play out, Timmy, he said, I think I'll be able to set him up and size him up in 3 and then get rid of him in 4. We're in 3 right here.
Stop, I got you, stop.
In 3 right now. It's just a matter of time, Tess. You know, he's softening him up. Caraballo hitting him down to the head and the body. He's catching him before he gets to where he needs to be successful, and that's the inside. Double left hand right there from Shakur Stevenson. This is target practice.
Splitting the guard with that left hand, then wrapped it around, but more useful with the power hand, the left hand here against Caraballo. Caraballo,
I have to say this, Tess,
1-2 mark, and we told you he had won 5 straight since his lone loss. He understood the gap in skill. He fully understands everything Shakur Stevenson is and what he perhaps isn't. And early on in this fight, he tried to put forth a strategy that would counter that. But Stevenson's so accurate, so skilled, and on target.
Stevenson right now, he wants a knockout. You know, he told us in the fighter meeting, he said, you know, I want to sit down more on my shots. I want to press forward. I want to take a little bit more chances because I want to be impressive to the fans.
Hands free.
I think he has a very good understanding of who he wants to be in the sport.
Yes.
Made the comment that I do have to get guys out of there. Talked about the fact that he wants to be a star, not just a boxer. And that he wants to surpass what others have done in the sport without having to play the villain role. And that means to him being the best fighter and being entertaining. And this is a guy
that
who
shows his
obviously,
maturation
Timmy,
as a
yes, it does. It gives you a sense of maturation. But also at 22 years old, and we've seen his body start to develop and change, winning a world championship at featherweight. I mean, you're talking about a guy who can go multi-divisional world championships, you know, carrying weight upwards towards 140. Who knows, by the end of his career, 147. But you can start to see that development, especially right here at 130 pounds.
Yeah, you know, I asked him.
Shakur Stevenson, just the 4th U.S. fighter in the last 20 years to win both an Olympic boxing medal and a world title. You see the power punches through 3 rounds, dominating form for the world champion. This, a non-title fight at 130 pounds for Stevenson. He said, boxing is back. I want to be back with it. And first in the main event.
Stop, I got you.
Of course, he was scheduled to fight back on March 14th. That would have been a title defense against Miguel Mariaga. They'll postpone due to that first week of the shutdowns due to COVID-19. Let's go to Bernardo.
Wally Moses is happy with the way Shakur Stevenson is boxing, but he wants him to continue to work the jab, go to the body, but not walk straight back. He wants him to set him up as he comes forward and then walk him into a big shot.
Wally Moses, the grandfather and trainer of Shakur Stevenson. They have a dynamic relationship.
Come on, hands free.
Yeah, that's what Shakur Stevenson needs to do. He needs to get back on the outside, use his jab, and
don't hold that hand out like that.
Keep Caraballo outside. Make him rush and make a mistake, and then make him pay so he can get a clear shot on him.
Mark Kriegel, what say you?
coming to terms with monumental ambition. You know, he knows where he wants to get. He wants to be a household name. He wants to be the best guy in the sport. He wants to be, as Timmy said before, the future. The question is, how do you get there? I understand being a young kid and saying, I'm the next Floyd, I'm the next Sugar Ray. The question, though, and it's a pretty deep question, how do you get there without imitating someone else? And how do you get there if you are a slick fighter, a fighter of color, and not playing the villain? This is a question that we dealt with earlier in the broadcast, and it's something that's going to confront Shakur Stevenson, or he's going to have to confront.
Make great fights, be dynamic, be entertaining, and be you, most importantly. And that's what Shakur has talked about, and that's what Andre, his co-manager, has talked about. Be authentically you.
But the problem isn't him, the problem is the system.
Shakur Stevenson is incredibly likable.
Don't put that hand like that.
Doing really well to the body here in this fourth round, Timmy.
Yes, he is, and that's where he needs to go down and continue to soften up Caraballo. He needs to continue to beat on the body, beat on the arms to bring those hands down, because Caraballo has a really tight defense.
Timmy, there was some nice work from Shakur in that last round.
Yeah, what I want to show you guys is that look at how comfortable he is, even though he's getting his foot stepped on right here, his lead foot stepped on, but he found a way to tap, 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 get that right hand around to the body on Caraballo, and then follow up with a combination. See, that little half a step back, just a clear space to let Caraballo throw and make him miss and then make him pay is the beauty. It's what I've been talking about. This is why this young man is so good. He does this all night long.
Round number 5 in our scheduled 10-round non-title fight. And Stevenson to this point has outlanded Caraballo 85-12. He has landed 49% of his power punches. There's that threshold you talk about, Tim Bradley. You always say, hey, if you get 50% of power punches, there's going to be a knockout score.
Yes, that's right. Most of the time, Tess. You know, I like the head placement right there from Shakur Stevenson, getting his head on the outside, not keeping it down the middle, so won't allow Caraballo to headbutt him.
It's the first main event of what will be the new look summer series of Top Rank Boxing on ESPN with the COVID-19 protocols. We are bringing you fights this month every Tuesday and Thursday, live fights on ESPN, and as was announced tonight, a special attraction on Saturday, June 20th from Mexico City with the 122-pound world champion, Emmanuel Navarrete. So next week, 3 nights of live fight action on ESPN.
Hands free.
And we'll be back with you Thursday. As you see, Jesse Magdaleno will be headlining against Yenifel Vicente. Adam Lopez also on that card, and a very good-looking prospect in Brian Lua, who's now 5-0. He will be in action Thursday night, as we will turn right around and bring you more fights from Vegas. Caraballo looking for body work on the inside. Instead, he eats a chopping right hand from Shakur. Stevenson backing up and able to land a left hand as he retreats. Now the uppercut on the inside as Caraballo was leaning forward.
Don't hold the hand out.
Stevenson continues with such success with these power punches. Caraballo trying to dig to the body with the right hand.
Caraballo still not doing anything to get to where he needs to be.
Oh, what a combination, Timmy.
Absolutely. You know, Tess, Shakur Stevenson fights when he wants to fight, gets out when he wants to get out, and box on the outside.
Back with you here with the 6th round of Shakur Stevenson and Felix Caraballo. Shakur Stevenson, who is already a featherweight world champion in his 13th pro fight, the 2nd fewest fights required to do so in boxing history. Only the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world, Vasily Lomachenko, is better. Of course, he did it in 3, which is ridiculous. You may never see that beaten. By the way, Tim, in that last round, Shakur Stevenson was shaking out his left hand a bit after landing it.
You know what? That could be an indication that he might have suffered an injury. You know, when you're hitting a guy on the forehead and hitting him on the top of his head constantly all night, you know, it's definitely bruises your hand. Let's see if he continues to use his left hand in this round.
Keep him up, baby. Keep him up. Keep him up.
Nice side step right there from Shakur Stevenson, but it was a little bit low.
And thus Tony Weeks giving the time to Caraballo.
You good? Yeah. Stay there. Are you good? Okay, here we go. Keep it. Time in.
It's a nice side step right there from Shakur Stevenson, right on the belt line. Oh, that was a little bit low. It was a little low there.
Don't hold him. Don't hold him. Let him go. Let him go. Come on, hands free. Hands free.
Hopelessness with Caraballo. He knew he would be outclassed, outskilled, and he goes down here in round number 6, halfway through round 6. And he's reeling in pain on the canvas. As Shakur Stevenson placed the money punch. And look at the reaction of Caraballo. A one and done from Shakur Stevenson after 6 rounds of having it his way.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Tony Weeks calls a stop to this bout at 1 minute, 31 seconds of round number 6. Declaring the winner by technical knockout from Newark, New Jersey, Shakur Stevenson!
Oh my! Explosive!
Any champion out there, I heard Shakur Stevenson wants to fight. Let's do it.
Oscar Valdez, I'm coming. I'm coming. I don't care about none of y'all. What's up?
That is it! It's over! That was human dynamite! Absolutely explosive!
This bout is scheduled for 12 rounds for the WBC Super Featherweight Championship of the World. Our judges at ringside: Max DeLuca, Dave Moretti, and Patricia Morse-Jarman. And the man in charge at the sound of the bell, Mr. Russell Mora. To the millions watching live on ESPN and ESPN Plus, this is boxing. This is Top Rank. Mexico versus Mexico. This is the main event. Introducing first out of the blue corner. He weighed in at 130 pounds, wearing black trunks with gold trim. He brings a perfect record, 28 victories, no defeats, 22 wins coming by way of knockout. He's a 2-time Mexican Olympian, former featherweight world champion, making his 8th appearance in a world title bout. From Nogales, Sonora, Mexico, Oscar Valdez! Introducing out of the red corner, presented in association with Zanfer Promotions. He weighed in at 130 pounds, wearing white trunks with blue trim. He brings a record of 38 victories with only 1 defeat, 34 victories coming by way of knockout, making his 7th defense of his world title. He is the reigning WBC Super Featherweight Champion of the World from Cancun, Quintana Roo, Mexico, Miguel El Alacrán Berchel!
Jack it off.
Russell Moore is the referee. We've seen him in big fights here in the bubble this past year. Loma Lopez, Ramirez Postal had controversy with Franco Maloney.
Trunks here are good. Trunks here are good. Anything below this line's a foul. We went over the rules in the dressing room. I want to remind you, protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands. Acuérdense, quiero una pelea limpia. Dios los bendiga. Toque Montes.
In the last 2 decades, 5 times the fight of the year was Mexican versus Mexican. We have heard the names Barrera and Morales plenty this week. And perhaps like those two Mexican legends, this more than just one night. Maybe this is the first night of what will become 2 names forever linked. Fighters know, they know this moment when the man opposite you can make you a better version of yourself, demanding you give more than you ever have. For Berchelt Valdez, that moment comes right now. Here we go. Round 1. Andre Ward, what are you looking for early?
Looking for Valdez to get that jab working. Those feints like you just saw right there. He's the smaller man. Stay small. Don't raise up and try to hit the face or the head of Berchelt early on. Be disciplined. Feint, use your speed, and use your jab. For Berchelt, he's going to do what he always does. He takes a round or 2 to warm up. He'll prod and paw with that left hand, and then he'll start to let both hands go to the body and to the head.
This range finding with that jab for Berchelt at the moment. The guy who typically throws over 81 punches per round in his world title fights.
I don't like that Valdez is loading up already with the overhand right and the right to the body. It takes a lot of energy, and it's just unnecessary right now. Just touch Berchelt. Don't try to knock him out with one shot.
Berchelt right now is just trying to set up shop right now. You see him constantly gathering rhythm, his rhythm, and also movement, keeping his distance from Valdez.
Even though Berchelt is the favorite, even though Berchelt is the champion, there is deep-seated motivation. We talked about the fact that you go back to their days as the amateurs. It was Oscar Valdez who was given the opportunity. It was Oscar Valdez who was fast-tracked for the Olympic spots. He comes forward with a left hand follow-up right.
But Tess, he gave up a lot of energy to get a right hand block and to miss the other shot, when he can get those same points and cause more damage by using the left hand, and he can also remain safe while he does it, just like that.
You know what this is called, what Valdez is doing? He's fighting with emotion right now. You know, you've seen his face, the way he looked when he came in, real serious. You know, he's fighting smart. He really is, but he's fighting with a lot of emotion. He needs to be cautious, like you said, Dre.
Well, it's a lot of nervous energy he's giving up. Yes.
Almost as if there's a clenched fist before it even comes to the point of the punch.
And you see how calm Berchelt is.
Well, what did he say in the locker room earlier? About 2 hours ago, he said, just look at my smile.
Yeah.
Look at my smile. That's the kind of night he felt he was having then and he wants to have now. Relaxed, fun. Now working the jab a little bit here. Half a minute to go in round number 1. Big left hook comes in well off the mark from Valdez. That left hook is so dangerous. We've seen the power from Valdez before with it. Double jab, right hand blocked. Hardly the kind of Berchelt round we've seen, but he will get that engine revving for sure. Quick break, end of 1. More from Vegas in a moment. To beat Lomachenko in a spectacular win here October 17th of last year, right here at the MGM Grand. He'll have a purse bid for his next title defense coming up this week. 2 of the real young superstars in the game here to see Berchelt and Valdez in that first round. Valdez 8 connects, 29 thrown. Berchelt 5 connects, 31 thrown.
Eddie Reynoso was telling Oscar, look, he's big, he's powerful, but he's slow, both with his hands and with his feet. Look, I saw you lunge in with that big right hand. Don't do that. Set it up because he's looking to counter.
Dre, you said Valdez has the great asset of speed. He has to use the hand speed and foot speed to his advantage.
Well, yeah, Valdez is quicker than he is fast. He can get to the target quick if he doesn't load it up. He gets in trouble when he throws big leaping left hooks and big right hands. But when he throws a jab like that, it's on the mark. Trust me, Berchelt feels it and is piling up points.
Can see the size difference that Reynoso cited. 2-inch height advantage, but 16 pounds gained from coming off the scale for Miguel Berchelt. Stepped on the scale, perfect 130. Stepped on the scale tonight, 146.2.
Seeing a lot of respect from the champion. He's respecting the power and the speed. He's still trying to figure out his range against Oscar Valdez.
Doing so with the jab. Nearly came with the right hand, and then Valdez decides to try to time it and open up with a combination.
There you just saw the size difference. Size doesn't always matter just with punches, but it matters when you're inside. So you see Valdez give all his effort to throw, and you see Berchelt just nudge him off. That takes a lot of energy out of Valdez. So size is about the physicality, not just the punch.
It's a great point. And then there's that punch resistance that becomes so important.
Right now, Valdez is fighting a smart fight right now. Using defense, attacking in the right spots, using his jab effectively, even with the 5-inch reach disparity. He's finding a home for his jab occasionally. Like there, beautiful work.
And good quick jab as well. Snapping it off. Comes back with it. Valdez with the up jab.
Yeah, Tess, I can't say it enough. That's the most important punch for Oscar Valdez. The left hand.
And you can see blood coming from the nose of Miguel Berchelt. Good work, tripling up the jab now, Valdez. Valdez bringing out some blood in the nose of Berchelt.
Valdez needs to ignore the blood and keep doing what he's doing. It's not time to attack yet.
Just beautiful boxing bomb right now. Look at that. Changing direction right there, and a nice 1-2 combination. He's fighting a perfect fight right now, out at distance.
Well-measured start, utilizing the jab, Oscar Valdez. CompuBox has both men landing 15 punches as we start round number 3. When it comes to the jab and the accuracy, Valdez at 32%, Berchelt at 22%. Tried to come over with a right hand, Valdez, to start this third round.
See, this has been the key to the success for Oscar Valdez. Beautiful jab right there. Even though he's a shorter man and has a shorter reach, he was still able to time his jab like he's doing there against Berchelt.
Bernardo, what are you hearing?
Jose Alfredo Caballero said, look, I know he's landing that jab. What you need to do is counter with the right. Don't lose your mind. Take your time. The fight is still early. Be smart, and you will be able to pour it on late. But his hands are quick.
They're acknowledging the quick hands, the quick jab of Valdez, but it obviously can be a countering opportunity with the right hand from Berchelt. Closes the distance now in the corner before they tie up.
All right, nothing back here.
Even though that was a foul, I like the fact that Valdez tried to make Berchelt pay for lunging in like that. He's sending a message to Berchelt, letting him know that you can't come in here any kind of way. If you miss, I'm going to try to make you pay.
Beautiful jab right there from Valdez. Look for the left hook to come around, you know. You're going to see Berchelt try to block the jab with his right hand. And the left hook of Valdez should find a home for itself soon.
Yeah, I think that's going to land, you know, start landing for Valdez.
There was the left hook from Valdez.
It's that jab, though, Tim, that jab. And he can even bring that jab downstairs as well.
Man, look at the movement. I mean, Valdez is fighting the perfect fight right now. Not standing in front of this big man, using his legs, popping in. He has the quicker hands, using his athleticism right there. Beautiful work by the young man.
And getting out of trouble as well. Had his back against the ropes, and you know when Berchelt gets somebody in that situation, all the awkward punches and bunches come, and Valdez quickly turns out and exits out the side door to the right. Turns over a left hook, trying not to be smothered, and then ties up.
Berchelt looks weight drained to me. His punches look a little lethargic. You saw that left hook right there?
Dre, do you agree with that assessment early on by Timmy?
No, it's too early to tell.
It just looks
too early to tell for me.
Able to get out of the way of that left hook from Valdez.
In front. Punches in front.
Fires off a lead left hook that time. Coming to the end of 3 here in Vegas. Joe, Tim, and Dre ringside here. Round number 4, world title fight, Berchelt Valdez. Tim, there was that moment in the 3rd round where Valdez found a little trouble that he had to get away from.
Yeah, we emphasize this on the Clicker Show. Don't stay on the ropes, Valdez, and he stays on the ropes just for a split second. Drops his guard. He thought a body shot was coming. Dropped his guard. Left an opening for that looping right hand. But to his favor, and to give him credit, he was able to take that shot on the chin.
Ooh. Left hook again from Valdez. Let's look at Andre Ward's card. 3-zip. Valdez, who was the big underdog when the lines opened up here in Vegas. We checked in with our contacts at Caesar. All the late money started coming in on Valdez. 87% of the total handle. Bet down to -300. Around town, you could shop it, get it -280. Right now, Dre has him up 3 rounds to zip early on.
The left hand is finding a home, Tim, like you predicted. And that's the punch that Berchelt, if you watch his fights, that he tends to get hit with. He doesn't defend well against the left hook. That was a punch that knocked him out early in his career when he had his first knockout loss. And Berchelt needs to keep using the jab and try to get that left hook in every chance he can get.
Berchelt trying to close the gap, does so with a right hand.
Stop! In front, punches in front.
I love the fact that Valdez is not showing any kind of respect. As soon as he gets close, he starts letting his hands go.
And on the separation, Berchelt wide swinging. Valdez trying to get away from it. He does back to the center of the ring.
You better believe that Berchelt's going to have runs that he tries to take within this fight. He's not just going to lay like, oh.
Look at that left hook from Oscar Valdez, and Berchelt is tied up.
Let go.
There it is.
He doesn't look good. He is hurt. Valdez is on the attack here. A minute to go in round 4. The left hook hurt Berchelt. Here comes Valdez. A minute to work. In the pocket, swinging.
Yes.
Berchelt's meeting him. Berchelt is on unsteady legs. Uppercut sends him back. Here's Valdez on the attack. Do we have a major upset brewing here in Vegas? Look at Valdez headhunting Berchelt. The champ is in trouble.
It's the left hook, Joe. That's what he wants. He needs another left hook to hit the spot.
Oscar Valdez, he doesn't know how to lose. Berchelt is finding something out as he tries to turn the tables and meet him with fire of his own. Damaged here in round 4. He's got 20 seconds to survive it. There's another left hook. Measures up another one. Lovely legs on Berchelt. Can he survive these last 10 seconds? Headshot after headshot. Valdez scoring with ease. Backs him up, and that's a technical knockdown. The ropes held him up. Look at his legs. Can he continue?
Come here, give me your gloves. Dame los guantes. ¿Está bien?
Spectacular round, and a shot comes in right at the bell.
And tried to land another left hook, and Berchelt is still hurt right now.
Tim, how does he look to you in these opening moments of round 5?
Not good, Tess. Not good at all. His legs are still wobbly.
Another left hook comes in.
And it's only going to take maybe 1 or 2 more shots, and it's going to be over.
Listen, he's out on his feet. Valdez needs to set up another shot. Don't rush it. Place the shot just like that.
Can you believe this? Oscar Valdez taking it right to Berchelt. Left hook to the temple, started it down the hill.
Miguel, you got to show me something, brother.
You just heard Russell Mora say, champ, you got to show me something.
Let me tell you this, when a puncher's hurt, when anybody's hurt, it takes the power off your shots. You don't have the same sting that you did before you got hurt.
Look at the control. The well-managed control. Valdez went with a right to the body and that left hook upstairs.
Valdez needs to shoot a jab and then fake the jab and come around with that left hook. It's right there.
He's putting on the performance of his life right now, Oscar Valdez is.
As he said he would. Chopping overhand, just missed.
Berchelt needs to buy some time to get his head together.
He doesn't know how, Dre. All he knows how to do is one thing, fight, fight, fight.
Ooh. Big right hand from Valdez. Berchelt stands up to it and looks to exchange. Maybe he's thinking there's one lottery ticket left in those gloves. He comes forward now.
Stop, let go.
Berchelt right now is fighting on instinct and guts. That's all he's fighting on right now because he's hurt.
All week long, we told you the CompuBox superlatives of all the offensive firepower, but we also mentioned among elite fighters, 8th worst defense in the sport. He gets hit. Not only that, he gets hit with power shots. And that's what has turned this fight into this golden opportunity for Valdez.
The money shot is the uppercut for Valdez. It's a shot that Berchelt won't see coming. If he shoots the uppercut as he's coming in, this will be over.
Half minutes ago in round 5, Berchelt a little better on his feet, a little more willing to engage, but he has been damaged. Fighting on instinct means to punch, to get into the pocket, and he does as he fires off the uppercut. What drama we have here in the bubble. Let's listen in. Well, he was beaten and battered at that point. He was barely standing. That was long after the original left hook went to the temple. That hurt him badly. Round number 6, title on the line.
Tess, as long as Berchelt's around, he's still dangerous.
Always.
There's no doubt about that.
He's always dangerous until this fight is over.
34 knockouts in 38 wins. He is as dangerous as anybody is in the sport. And he looks a little better here at the start of round 6.
If you're Valdez, you want to go back to what set up that good shot. Stop trying to just land it and set it back up. That's how you got the success you got early on. So go back to that, and maybe you can land it again.
But the biggest problem is that he didn't go to the body. He should have went to the body. Those hands would be down even more, and he would have took a lot more out of Berchelt. He just got happy and comfortable headhunting.
But this makes it a lot easier if you're the smaller guy in the boxer facing the puncher, when the puncher knows that you can hurt him.
Ooh, that body shot hurt Valdez right there.
Berchelt goes to the body and finds success.
Listen, Berchelt is thinking right now, I took his best shot. Now he's coming on, he's feeling strong, he's able to absorb and take the punches a lot more, I would say, easier coming from Valdez.
Stop, let go.
I just can't stop thinking about everything that was said this week.
Look at this.
How he talked about Julio Cesar Chavez picking Berchelt. How he talked about it's the first time on an underdog. And then yesterday, the president of Mexico FaceTiming Berchelt and lending support. They trade right there. Berchelt absorbed that far better than he did 2 rounds ago.
But that punch hit Berchelt right square on the chin. The one that hurts him is the punch that hits him on top of the head. That's the one he does not defend well against.
That left hook temple shot, side of the head, happened early in round 4. Awkwardness of Berchelt coming straight in against Valdez.
Let go.
So for a true champion, when you get hurt, you get angry. Once you recover, you realize what happened to you, you get angry, and Berchelt is angry right now.
Not tying up, throwing on the inside that time was Valdez.
Berchelt felt that right hand right there.
He pops that jab. Berchelt trying to close that range again. Cut off the ring.
Oh, behind the head right there, rabbit punch from Valdez.
Time.
Rabbit punch.
No more punches back here. Don't do it. Don't do it, okay? Don't do it. Let's go.
So the warning from Russell Mora.
Beautiful body shot right there from Oscar Valdez. That's where he needs to continue to go to drain Berchelt.
Here comes Berchelt. He started with the body attack. Now he's trying to go upstairs in the final moments here of round 6.
Nice tie up right there from Oscar Valdez. That's what he needs to do. He needs to tie him up and don't allow him to come on.
Time!
He was 15 of 62. He landed 12 power punches, throwing 41s, fight highs for him. Oscar Valdez is enjoying an 83-61 connected advantage. The highlight, of course, round 4, when he had 18 power punches landed of 64 thrown and scored the technical knockdown. Hurt him badly early on with a left hook.
Valdez's technique is suffering just a little bit right now. Part of it's fatigue and part of it's because Berchelt is picking up the pace. Valdez has to go back to what worked early in this fight. Jabs, pot shots, and hopefully he can land another big shot.
Look at Berchelt just trying to run him down, trying to get anything going.
Man, this guy is the Terminator, Berchelt.
Burchell's trying to get some get back. He said, you want to do that to me? It's time for me to get mine now.
Stop. Let go.
He's willing to make a fight of it. 5 rounds to 1 on Andre's card, including that 4th round, that 10-8 4th round when Burchell was hurt badly, and the knockdown was scored by Valdez.
If Valdez doesn't get Burchell out of there, it's going to be very interesting going down the stretch, because Valdez, even though he had great success halfway in the first half of the fight, he gave up a lot of energy with the movement, the mental pressure, as well as all the punches that he threw.
No doubt about that. Let's see if it turns in that direction. Burchell stalking. Goes to the body underneath with a right hand. Tries to chop down and windmill a right. Head movement from Valdez gets him out of trouble, and he spins out.
The right hand is available for Burchell. Valdez is throwing the same single jab, the same speed. The right hand is available for him. All he has to do is shoot it anytime he sees a jab, right over the top of it.
Follows Valdez back into the corner. Much different tone here in round number 7.
This is when the corner earns their money. They got a coach, their fighter. I'm talking about Eddie Reynoso. Oscar Valdez, through this moment, he has to let him know this is what's happening, and this is what you have to do to keep your composure.
Right hand comes in from Burchell. He's finding a little something here in round 7. Can see redness on the face of Valdez. He opens up with a left hook, goes right back to it again, chopping with a right hand. Here's Valdez now making a comeback. And what does Burchell do to answer? He throws punches.
What is this guy
The
made of?
only thing they know. Oh, good stuff. Heck of a round.
What he needs to do is he needs to step in and tie up Burchell and walk him back to the center of the ring, because that's where he's going to have success.
Consider how badly he was damaged in round 4, the way he looked in round 5, and now stacks a couple good rounds together, round 6 and 7. In that 7th round, Miguel Burchell had a 19-13 connect advantage. He was 14 of 44 on power punches. Valdez did make a nice comeback at the end of that round, but early on, Burchell was consistent, was doing his thing.
Now you see Valdez going back to what gave him the early success, which is the jab and the lead hand. It keeps the hard charging Burchell at bay. It blinds him if you want to throw a right hand and a left hook behind it, because Burchell has taken your best shot so he can compute a big lead, right hand or left hand. But when you blind it, or blind him with the left hand, the jab, now he can't see it. Just like that.
Telling you, the uppercut is the money punch from Valdez. It's a shot that Burchell will not see coming. And the ones that you don't see coming are the ones that hurt the most.
A necessary jab turns it over into a hook.
Beautiful boxing right now from Valdez. Just beautiful boxing.
Good combination from Valdez.
Look at that. Turning outside the corner. Woo. Beautiful work by the young man.
Nice hop and a step, and then a lead left hook again. Burchell trying to work behind that jab.
Listen, I don't know why Valdez is switching as much as he is, and I haven't seen him ever switch as much as he is, but it's effective and it's working right now.
Stop. Let go.
Valdez is using that turn and burn, baby. Turn and burn. Keep turning him. Make him pick up his feet. That's what you do against a puncher. A guy that needs to stand in position to be able to land this offense.
Much better movement here in ring generalship in round 8 from Valdez.
Stop. No knockdown. Give me gloves. Arriba, golpes arriba.
Those shots are straying kind of low.
Don't hold.
For Burchell.
Upward coming body shots with the right hand. 8 rounds. Round number 9. In that 8th round, Valdez had a 16-12 connect advantage.
When Valdez goes away from the left hand, the jab, he doesn't land the left hooks as cleanly as he is right now. When he's setting everything up with the jab, he's able to turn southpaw and land some lead shots, and he's also able to land that signature left hook and overhand rights. He's got to stay disciplined.
Such a highly competitive fight. I think many would probably find it fairly easy to score. You've got the highlighted knockdown round in the 4th, 78-73. The bounce back rounds by Berchelt were obvious, 6 and 7, and then a good 8th round for Valdez. He got off to a very good start of utilizing the jab. Then he had the power surge when Berchelt was hurt in rounds 4 and 5. Berchelt settled in, had his way in the 6th and 7th before Valdez comes back with good movement, good jab, and that overhand right in the 8th. 6 rounds to 2 with a 10-8 round.
That was a nice sequence right there. Valdez was on the ropes. He flicked out a left hand, landed a right hand for good measure, and got out of harm's way.
There's the left hook again.
He hurt him with that. He buzzed him. You can see the legs. Oh. Berchelt does not have the same power on his shots. When you get hit with big shots like that, like Dre said, it takes power away from your opponent when you're hitting them with big shots.
Biggest weapon Valdez possesses, and he is utilizing it well tonight. The left hook, switching stances though, and comes back with a right jab, a southpaw jab. And here he is now as a southpaw.
Now you see the body language from Valdez.
Uppercut combination, and he scores the knockdown. Valdez does it again.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Come here.
He's hurt.
¿Está bien? ¿Quieres más pelea? Get back.
Can he finish him? Can Oscar Valdez take the throne from Berchelt? Coming in with right hands. Showing the patience of a veteran, of a champion, fighting smart, sweeping headshots. Tim, you said he must go to the body in situations like this.
Go to the body. That'll take a lot more out of your opponent if you go down to that body when they're hurt, and they'll bring their hands down.
Right hand comes in. Berchelt survived the 4th round. Can he get out of this 9th round? He's got to be careful. That left hand again. Sweeping right hand from Valdez. Oscar Valdez in control here as we come to the end of round 9. For the 2nd time, he puts down Miguel Berchelt.
He's taking too many power shots to the head.
If you look at his legs, he's bouncing, but they're not steady. That means that his equilibrium is not right, his balance is not right, and he's a shot or 2 away from getting knocked out.
He doesn't start throwing punches, I'm going to have to stop the fight. So that is in the mind of Jose Alfredo Caballero in Berchelt's corner.
There's another big shot from Valdez. Valdez can sense it.
Joe Moore's got to take a close look at this. I understand this is for Mexico and their Warriors, but he's got to take a close look at Miguel Berchelt. If Miguel Berchelt won't stop, he may have to stop it for him.
Taking too many punches, too many power shots.
Look at his face. Look at the swelling. And he's eating these left hooks. And now snapping jab and a right hand comes in from Valdez.
Stop. Let go. Stop in.
He's got to watch him.
Perfect game plan put forth from Oscar Valdez on the night when he needed to be perfect. Switching stances.
See that switch right there? That's just creating a different angle.
Switches back to orthodox.
For his offense.
He has shown everything tonight.
Everything.
Absolutely everything.
Masterful performance tonight by Oscar Valdez.
Motivated by doubters, including his boyhood idol, Julio Cesar Chavez. on a night when Burchelt said, I take a step closer to reaching that goal of Chavez's 9 successful title defenses at 130 pounds with the green belt. And now, if he doesn't have a massive turnaround, that green belt is going the other way. That's a slip in the corner where there is moisture from the water and ice.
Wipe this corner.
And Russell Mora instructs them to wipe it down.
Valdez is in a zone right now. He is in an absolute zone right now.
Trey, it's almost as if you could see it in his eyes, wide open, hyper-focused all night long.
He's heard the talk from his countrymen and from those, you know, in the boxing community. And that motivated him. It's not always the bigger man that wins. It's not always the hardest puncher. Brains, toughness, and skill can get it done.
Well, brains is toughness. You got to stay disciplined when you use your brains. That is toughness, Dre.
Absolutely explosive. Oscar Valdez is the new champion.
Valdez has been fighting the perfect fight all night, knowing when to box, when to move. But this right here is saving grace. Left hook with the movement allowed Burchelt to come forward. Just beautiful work right here, man, by Valdez. Finding the home for his saving grace, that left hook. I knew as soon as he hit someone, as soon as he hit Burchelt clearly, I knew it was going to be over.
Watch the legs on impact.
Getting out of range, beautiful setup, boom, right on the chin.
Every part of him crumbled
Unreal.
To the ring. But right now, he is on the stool. They're unwrapping the gloves. They will get him to the UMC Trauma Center. The left hook all night long. Oscar Valdez, a young man who was born in Mexico and then went to Tucson, Arizona when he was just a year old, went to elementary school in Arizona through 5th grade, and then parents divorced. He went back to Mexico with his father. His career has taken him to the greatest heights, a 2-time Olympian, a world champion at featherweight. You see Teofimo Lopez celebrating the win. Here it is in real speed. Listen to this. It was before the bell for those who are questioning it. And the celebration, biggest win of his career.
Ladies and gentlemen, here inside the MGM Grand, this bout comes to an incredible conclusion. 2 minutes, 59 seconds of round number 10. For your winner by knockout and new WBC Super Featherweight Champion of the World, Oscar Valdez!
Any champion out there, I heard Shakur Stevenson wants to fight. Let's do it.
Oscar Valdez, I'm coming. I'm coming. I don't care about none of y'all. What's up?
That is it! It's over! That was human dynamite! Absolutely explosive!
This bout is our co-featured bout of the evening, set for a distance of 10 rounds or less in the super featherweight division. Our judges at ringside, Glenn Feldman, Robert Echo, and Joseph Mason. At the sound of the bell, the man in charge of the action, referee Curtis Thrasher. Introducing first, the fighter standing in the blue corner. He enters the ring wearing white trunks with black trim. When he stepped on the scale, he weighed in at an official 128.5 pounds. In his 24th pro bout with 21 victories against 2 losses, 9 of his victories coming by way of KO. Being presented in association with Greg Cohen Promotions and fighting out of Leștiu, Romania, Viorel Bombardierul Simeon. Across the ring in the red corner, wearing white with fuchsia trim, being presented in association with Antonio Leonard Promotions. When he stepped on the scale, he weighed in at an official 128 pounds. And in the summer of 2016, representing the USA, he captured one of the most coveted prizes in world amateur boxing, the silver medal at the Rio Olympics. Now, he enters the ring an undefeated pro with 8 victories. 4 of those victories coming by way of KO. Representing Brick City, Newark, New Jersey, Shakur Stevenson.
Here we go, gentlemen. Okay, gentlemen, you received your instructions earlier in the dressing room. I expect you to obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Anything below the navel here is going to be low. Anything below the navel here is going to be low. Touch him up right now, fellas. Good luck.
So the 8-0, Shakur Stevenson gets a spotlight here on Crawford's undercard, right before the big world title fight. He's co-managed by the retired former 2-division world champion and our colleague, Andre Ward. So, Mr. Manager, we say to you, what are you looking for in the next stage of development with Shakur Stevenson?
I mean, I expect him to shine tonight, but Simeon is a real test. Make no mistake about it. This is not a showcase fight. It's a step-up fight. So he's got to step his game up if he's going to come out on top.
All right, we will let you sit back and watch your young fighter here, Shakur Stevenson, the U.S. Olympian who won a silver medal and is 8-0 right now as he will get things started, and then we will have Bud Crawford and Jose Benavidez Jr.
Right away, look at the feet of Stevenson. Taking 2 steps back, got out of range right there, weaved underneath that hook from Simeon.
Simeon, who makes his U.S. debut. He has 17 fights in his native Romania, where he's a popular attraction. A couple fights in England and Germany, fought in Canada, fought in Spain, but now comes here to take on Shakur Stevenson.
Break! Step back. Put your head. Put your head up. Mark.
See, Shakur taking two hops back, taking 2 steps. See, when you do that, you allow a man or a fighter to cover ground, too much ground. He's not firing. When he steps 1 step back, you need to fire. Simeon's coming straight down the middle. And you see Stevenson not doing enough work right now, getting kind of roughed up in the inside right now, I believe.
Wanted to test.
Oh! A knockdown scored halfway into round 1 for Shakur. What a statement this could be for the young Stevenson. Some have questioned whether or not he has developed his man strength. Could he get rid of a guy who's gone the distance with champions? He puts him down again.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're okay here, right? All right, here we go.
Dario Simeon has never been knocked out in his career. To the body he goes. Short right hand up top by Stevenson.
Something Shakur was keenly aware of. Simeon was stopped by Lee Selby and Scott Quigg. Lost, but was not stopped. And Shakur thinks of this as an opportunity at 21 to show his man strength.
20 seconds remain here in round 1. 36-year-old veteran, 12-year pro in Simeon, who got blasted by Stevenson again as he crumbles to the canvas, trying to hold himself up with that right hand. That is it. It's over. What a display of power for Shakur Stevenson.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Curtis Thrasher signals an end to this bout with an official time of 3 minutes of the opening stanza, declaring the winner by way of technical knockout, still undefeated, Shakur Stevenson.
Oh my! Explosive!
Any champion out there, I heard Shakur Stevenson wants to fight. Let's do it.
Oscar Valdez, I'm coming. I'm coming. I don't care about none of y'all. What's up?
That is it! It's over! That was human dynamite! Absolutely explosive!
Oscar Valdez's last fight was November 30th, 2019. That was a 7th round TKO against Adam Lopez. But remember, Lopez was a late substitute. He took the fight on a day's notice because the original opponent, Andres Gutierrez, he missed weight by 11 pounds, and Lopez scored a knockdown against Valdez in that fight. And Valdez was very upset, just grading himself out, said, I made the mistake, it's my fault. He wants to look sharp tonight.
And to Oscar Valdez's credit, Joe, as you mentioned, you got to add that to the equation. You know, Adam Lopez is a good fighter, good amateur career, great coach, the Hall of Famer Buddy McGirt, and that was his Super Bowl. That was his big opportunity. The opportunity was big, but it wasn't quite as big for Oscar Valdez. Those types of things happen. It wasn't his best performance. He owned it, and he vows to be better tonight.
Valdez is shooting the jab out there, but he's bringing it back kind of low. Look out for the right hand of Oscar Valdez.
Just missed it right there, Tim.
And Oscar Valdez is a mean left hook as well. You can see the right hand coming a little bit forward. If Valdez was to get on this jab and bring that right hand forward on Valdez, you'll be able to land that signature left hook too.
Valdez goes to the body with a right hand.
Where's the jabs at from Oscar Valdez? No jabs? I mean, let's get some jabs going.
Another right hand to the body from Jason Velez.
Joe, this is why Tim Bradley couldn't train me, and I don't even know if I would want him calling my fights, because he doesn't let a fighter warm up. I mean, it's been 1 minute and 30 seconds, and he's already saying they're not jabbing.
Dre, I was thinking the same exact
I'm just saying,
thing.
what a jab.
He is as tough of a critic as there
flick
is.
the jab out there.
Oh my goodness.
Listen, man, flick the jab out there. Change the speed up on the jab. You ain't got to throw it with conviction, but just throw something out there on your opponent.
It's the first round, Timmy.
Listen, man, all this sitting and waiting, you can be jabbing.
Now there's a jab for you after he threw the left hand to the body. The continued development with Eddie Reynoso, trainer, of course, of Canelo.
See, Valdez swung for the fences right there with the left hook, but what did he do? He's swinging up too high. You throw that left hook at the shoulder, it's going to meet the head of Valdez.
2 times he pulled the trigger on that big left hook. End of 1 of our main event. And we're thankful that Bernardo gets to go home in just about 90 minutes, Bernardo. It's been an amazing run. We're so thankful for our entire crew of ESPN personnel, 42 of them who have spent 47 days at the MGM Grand Conference Center to deliver 13 fight cards to you from June 9th. Round number 2 of our main event. Oscar Valdez trying to come out of here with a win tonight against Jason Velez and set up the fight with the WBC world champion Miguel Berchelt. That would be as much action as anybody could handle. He says, everywhere I go, everybody's asking him about fighting Berchelt. But he said, what's on my mind is what's in front of me right here. And what's in front of him right here is a very active Jason Velez, who threw 62 punches in that first round. Valdez a little more efficient, judicious. He was 11 out of 29. Let's check in with Bernardo.
Eddie Reynoso was telling Oscar, look, don't lunge, stay behind the jab, and you have an opening for that left hook. On the other side, for Jason Velez, Emilio Lozada was saying, hey, you've got to keep your right hand up because he's looking for that left hook counter.
You know, Velez right now, he's marching forward. He's controlling the tempo right now. He's like you said, Tess, he's throwing more punches, but he's also keeping his range out there. He's using his reach and his height against Valdez.
He has a 2-inch advantage. Velez is 5'8", Valdez 5'6".
That's that.
You see the style change for Oscar Valdez. It doesn't mean that he can never be the guy that gave him his name in the sport and that won him a world title and gave him an undefeated record. You just don't want to see that fighter, that blood and guts guy every single round. It's just not sustainable. You want to see that guy in glimpses, but you also want to see the fighter you're seeing now to set up the big punches and maybe some of the in-close fighting. So it's not that he's taking away, he's just adding to what he already has.
Like that turning point we saw in his career in March of 2018 when he fought with a broken jaw. That was a gutsy win against Scott Quigg. Quigg came in overweight that night, so couldn't fight for that featherweight title, but what a battle that was.
I see what Valdez is doing now. What he's doing is he's waiting. He's letting Velez get comfortable, and he's waiting on the perfect shot to land on him. He's allowing him to gain confidence through these rounds.
Valdez and Velez, they told us about these extra long camps that they feel like their bodies have had to endure. Getting ready to fight pre-pandemic and then waiting it out for months, and now the return of live boxing to national TV, and this the final of what's been the summer series of 2 to 3 fights a week we've had with Top Rank on ESPN. Before we take a little bit of a break and get back to championship fights on Saturday nights in August. Round number 3. Timmy, you said that you think Valdez is laying some traps.
Yep, I believe that Valdez is trying to lay some traps. Tess, he's waiting, he's waiting, he's waiting. Then he's gonna pounce sooner or later. He's gonna have to turn it up. Once he realizes that Velez is not a very good inside fighter, he's more of a mid-range fighter. You know, I think he's gonna step it up and get it inside and then start working his hands. But you know, I noticed something, Tess. In that last round, inside the corner of Valdez, he got a mouse that's forming on his eye. No, the cut man didn't even touch the eye with the inchwell. You know, you have to bring that swelling down. And if this kid's eye closes, then it's going to be some issues for him.
Now we will monitor that. There's that up jab. Now right hand follows.
Hands free, hands free.
See, Valdez is in a tough spot, Joe, because if he boxes too much and stays on the outside and is not busy enough, he finds himself getting hit. He's not piling up enough points or inflicting enough damage. If he goes in and fights too often and gives up too many shots, that's also a problem. That's what he's sort of trying to get away from. So it's a very, very strenuous thing mentally to know and to teach yourself when to fight and when it's not okay to fight. When should I be on the outside boxing? You can literally see Valdez going through this process right now, right before our eyes.
So what manifests here in the early rounds, Dre, is exactly how we started the conversation at 8 o'clock Eastern tonight, when you said potentially he's caught between two styles.
Well, when you've had the kind of trauma that he had with, you know, a broken jaw, like, you make extreme changes most of the time, and he never wants to be in that situation ever again in his life. I mean, it's a good headline. People, it'll cause people to click on the articles. It'll cause people to want to hear about his story. He may even get some fans by it. But in reality, it was a devastating moment for him physically, mentally, emotionally. He never wants to be close to a situation like that. That's why you see him boxing the way that he is right now.
Yeah, a situation where you have your jaw wired the following week after a fight and you're not eating food for a few months. There's a left hand as we come to the end of round number 3, Valdez and Velez. Oscar Valdez has landed a quarter of his punches thrown so far tonight through 3 rounds. Velez is throwing more, but only landing 14% of his punches against Valdez.
Valdez is a former world champion. He has an experienced trainer in his corner. but doesn't have a cut man working his eyes or working his swelling. I don't even know what to say about that. You know, I see the swelling under the left eye. Hopefully it doesn't be an issue down the stretch of this fight, but an end swell should be on that eye. It should be on his face. That's a whole piece of metal that you put in the bucket, the ice bucket. Needs to be applied to his face to bring that swelling down.
Bernardo, what's the word ringside?
Well, Eddie Reynoso is not only his trainer, but also his cut man, so he does need to get that end swell going. Now, he told him, look, you're setting him up to the counter, but I need you to keep your hands up when you do that. He drops his right, so go with your left hook, and do not lunge. Keep moving your waist when you're trying to work your way in there.
Let's watch that right hand of Valdez and see if the left hook opportunity exists here. Digs underneath, and there it is. Comes up top with the left hook after going to the body.
Just as you said, Tess, the body, bringing him down to the body and then coming up top is what set up that left hook. That body shot.
Maybe that left hand, the flush left hand that Valdez is landing on the chin of Valdez will do more damage later in the fight, but right now Valdez is taking those shots really well, and he's answering everything Valdez hits him with. And Valdez is not throwing power, he's just staying busy, he's piling up points, and he's not allowing Valdez to think. And right now Valdez is more of a thinking fighter. Valdez is taking that away from him.
I'm sorry, but I got to be honest with you guys, man. You know I'm an honest guy, man. I just don't like this form of Valdez. I don't like what I'm seeing. I understand not getting hit, but you can also be offensive like Lomachenko and still have defense. You just got to be properly trained that way.
Very valid point, Tim, with the exception of saying that anybody can be like Lomachenko. Although Teofimo Lopez will take that.
Can be like but I'm just saying, Ted, there's a will, there's a way. If you got
there's no doubt about it. Just a tough guy to compare anybody to.
Yes, you're right.
Well, judges' view as we start round number 5. Oscar Valdez, Jason Velez, and Valdez found success doubling up that left hand moments ago, Dre.
And Valdez throws his punches with conviction, like you see right here. Good left hook to the body. You see the arm of Valdez pull back. That means he was hurt. Big shot, or it looked like a big shot to the head of Valdez, but Valdez didn't turn the shot over. Look here, boom. That's the shot that hurt him. And then, boom, he kind of hit Valdez with the palm of the glove, and that's why it didn't do the damage that Valdez wanted.
And Bernardo, what's the reaction in the corner of Jason Velez?
Emilio Lozada saying, look, you got to get to work. Don't let him get away. They're not going to give it to us. That round he stole from you, you've got to go after him.
Velez is doing a good job. I mean, he's switching up his attacks. He's changing levels, going down to the body with the jab, coming up top with left hooks, right hands occasionally. He lunges right there, but I just love the way he's attacking Valdez. It seems like he's confusing Oscar Valdez.
I think it's a combination of Velez and what he's doing, just staying steady, putting shots out there, not real heavy, but again, not allowing Valdez to think. And then the other part is Valdez just not being confident in what he's worked on in the gym. When nobody's around in the gym, that's one thing, that's one level of pressure. But when you're in a fight, even with no crowd, when the whole world is watching, now you have to take what you've learned in the gym and cause it to translate. I don't see it translating right now. Oscar Valdez looks stuck between two styles. Not sure if he wants to fight at times, and he's not sure when he wants to box. But the boxing isn't even prevailing right now. Velez, his boxing isn't as pretty as Valdez's, but it's more effective.
Velez nearly falling all the way in there, and Valdez was quick to pull the trigger.
That body work is the key for Valdez. He's got to stay down there. I'm seeing Velez react every time he gets hit down there.
Oh, left hook puts him down. Knockdown scored here in the closing moments of round 5.
5, 6, 7, 8. Come to me, come to me. You good? That in? Okay, here we go.
So the power of Oscar Valdez shows up. Top contending 130-pounder who had 6 title defenses as the WBO featherweight champion. We're going to finish off this night and set up that date against Miguel Berchelt. Left hook to the body against Velez.
Another beautiful left hand. Exactly, Joe. Right to the body. Saw another reaction from Velez, and he came up top as well. That's what Valdez wants to do. Start down low, get the reaction, and then throw the big shot, namely the left hook, upstairs, and fight may be over at that point.
I just have a hard time watching this because you have a fighter that has a weakness. You got to understand and know that weakness, and you got to get in that position to expose that weakness. And I have to say that Velez is not a good inside fighter. He's a mid-range fighter. So go to the mid-range and battle him in that, battle him in the close quarters, in the inside. He's
But Tim,
not a
I
really
think
good inside
Valdez.
fighter.
Yeah, I think Valdez is realizing that right now.
Yeah, but you got to know that coming in the fight. You got to understand that from the beginning of the fight. Not sit on the outside and get picked off. Get close to this man.
Stop. Stop, stop. Stop, stop.
That's the shot that Oscar Valdez wants. He wants to dip his head and come over the top with that left hook. If he wants to get this fight over with, he's got to turn it over like he did in the previous round, or else Velez will just eat it and keep on coming.
Hands free.
He was firing away with it early, but then at 15 seconds to go in the 5th, did he ever connect? Remember, Velez 6 losses, but he's never been stopped. He's been in with Ryan Garcia, Juan Manuel Lopez, Joseph Diaz, had a title challenge to draw against Evgeny Gradovich.
There's nothing coming down straight down the middle from Valdez. Everything is coming out wide, hooks. There's punches right down the middle from him for Velez.
When Valdez crouches like that, he's looking for that left hook.
Come on.
Velez has to recognize that and not just run into the shot.
Yeah, keep him up.
Anytime Valdez crouches down and looks up, he's looking to launch that left hook every time. Right, just like that. He didn't throw it, but that's what he's looking for.
Round 7 of our 10-round main event. Oscar Valdez landed the big left hook at the end of round number 5, had Jason Velez hurt late. Right now, Valdez has a 70-42 connect advantage to this point and a 52-30 power punch connect advantage.
Valdez has realized that Velez isn't throwing punches with a lot of steam on him, so he's trying to allow Velez to open up so he can punch inside Velez's punches, and again, namely with that left hook to the body, and he wants to finish with the left hook to the head.
Bernardo.
Eddie Reynoso told Oscar in the corner, you were a little bit out of control in that round. I need you to keep a tight guard, use your feints because he's already timed your jab. On the other corner, Emilio Lozada told Jason Velez, hey, you are gonna get a chance because he's gonna open up here.
If you're Jason Velez, you don't wait for the perfect shot against Valdez. You got to keep letting his hands go, keep putting pressure, even though it's awkward pressure on Valdez. He told us he trained for 12 to 13 weeks. He had over 120 sparring rounds, so conditioning should not be an issue. That's Velez's best opportunity to win this fight tonight.
I'm letting you know right now, Valdez think Velez is tough. He got another thing coming when it comes to Burchell.
No, stop.
Because if he looks like this against Burchell, I don't think it goes the distance.
Well, we will have plenty of time to talk about that if things stay the course here.
You know, as a fighter, whether it's Oscar Valdez or Isaac Dogboe, when you have a bad moment or a bad string in your career where you got knocked out, or maybe you got hurt in a fight and you find yourself gun-shy, you got to be willing to go back to that place. You can't avoid it because you're going to look like a shell of yourself. You got to say, listen, I may get knocked out, but I'm going to be myself. I'm going to let my shots go. I'm going to be aggressive. I'm going to be confident. That's what you look for fighters like Valdez and Dogboe who are rebuilding.
You know, it's funny to think about Valdez that way, a guy who has 6 title defenses, is undefeated, but, you know, the fight with Quigg, he breaks his jaw, has the brawl to get through that, and then tries to reshape himself, and then Lopez on short notice, who puts him down, comes back, wins that fight by TKO, bit of a quick stoppage, but such is the case of where Oscar Valdez is as he tries to get after it here at the end of 7. More to come. Stay with us. Joe Tessitore, Andre Ward, Tim Bradley, and Mark Kriegel calling the action here. Round number 8 of Valdez and Velez, as Oscar Valdez has scored the knockdown in round number 5, trying to get himself a win and go to 28-0. Reminder, SportsCenter will get you up to speed on everything going on in the NBA bubble from one bubble to the other. We're here at the MGM Grand COVID-free bubble. Opening day a couple days away, and the best of Top Rank, including what we saw earlier as the first round knockout streak of Edgar Berlanga continues, a perfect 14 for 14. We'll have much more on that.
You see, you think I'm being hard on Oscar Valdez. I'm not. You know, I'm here to tell you folks that there's different types of fighters. Okay, you got thinking fighters, like Andre Ward was a thinking fighter. He was a mastermind in that ring. You couldn't outthink him. You know, I was more of a reactive fighter. You know, I could do a little bit of both, but I mostly like to react to whatever my opponent is doing and then be able to make my adjustments. I had quick feet, quick hands, I can get in and out. I had ring IQ sort of things. This guy right here, Oscar Valdez, ring IQ, good ring IQ, but he needs to be more reactive. What he sees, make him miss, make him pay. He should be coming forward, being himself, still being defensive at the same time, but letting his hands go.
Tim, great analysis, and isn't it funny that that's what translated over to each of your broadcast careers and your style as broadcasters as well?
Thanks.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said about Valdez, Timmy, but I must say this about myself. I was a little mean in there, too.
No doubt about
Dre,
that.
you was a beast in the inside. There's no doubt about it, Dre.
Had a little mean streak in me.
Still have a little of that competitive fire.
Just a little.
Because that's our production
never
crew.
Fully dies. It never fully. Just enough. Just enough.
Velez coming forward towards Valdez now. And a chopping right hand moments ago. Nearly got caught by that right hand.
I'm gonna tell you what a good trainer does. This is what a good trainer does. He takes your attributes, and what he does, he improves you in areas where you're weak at. All right, defensively, Valdez was weak defensively, but you can't take away his offense just so he can be defensive. You know, a good trainer can train those areas without taking away your strong suits.
So you point the finger to Eddie Reynoso here. You think too much has been sacrificed on the accelerator of Valdez, the aggressiveness and the offensive side.
Yes. And what are you trying to be, Canelo? He ain't Canelo. You can't train everybody like you can train Canelo. Canelo's Canelo. Oscar Valdez is different.
And SportsCenter will have more post-fight coverage of Berlanga's streak. It happened 62 seconds into the first round. 14 straight first-round knockouts now to start his career.
Joe, I don't like what I see from Oscar Valdez tonight. I just don't see confidence. I don't see consistency. I see a fighter who's unsure. I mean, Jason Velez.
Time. Yeah, low. Get over there.
A low blow right there.
Come here. Here. 1 point. Low blow, 1 point. Low blow, 1 point. Low blow, 1 point low. Come on, just keep it low. Okay?
Yeah. Point deduction.
Happy in? Good? Okay, here we go. Time back in. Let's go.
And here's a look at that low blow.
Stop.
But Joe, like I was saying, just Oscar's not showing me what I thought I would see tonight from him. Velez is a good fighter. He's a veteran. He's been in there with some top guys. He came up short against those guys. But this isn't the guy that's supposed to make Valdez look like this. This is the fight where Velez tests Valdez, or at least he's supposed to. But Valdez passes with flying colors. And tonight he's not passing with flying colors, at least up until this point.
You know what I find interesting about having that conversation, Dre, is that it's not dissimilar to what Valdez told us about other recent fights, where when you talk to him, you ask about the training, you ask about the development, you ask about what he's seeing in sparring. He feels great going into the fight. He's not getting the results once he's in the ring that he thought he would, based on what he's putting in, the work he's putting in the gym. This new version of him.
Because this is not the gym. Right. This is not the gym. These are not paid sparring partners. This is the fighter and Jason Velez that, you know, he wants his opportunity. Adam Lopez, he wants his opportunity. And fighters, when they see another wounded fighter, they come alive. They fight above what they used to fight in the past. I don't know why it's like that with fighters. When they think a guy is invincible, you'll see him a little hesitant. Even some of the toughest guys in the sport. But when they see you get knocked down, when they see the fact that you take a lot of punishment, your jaw's been broke, they come alive. And you see Jason Velez fighting over his head tonight against a former champion in Oscar Valdez.
Stop.
There's that left hook opportunity again, as both men opened up on the inside.
No. Stop. There we go.
Velez is really opening himself up wide in the inside. He needs to be careful. Valdez is sitting on those left hooks.
He really is. Much of this 9th round, it's been that way. 1 round to go from Vegas. 10th and final round here. Top Rank Boxing on ESPN. Joe Tessitore and the guys, with the action coming from the MGM Grand Conference Center. Through 9 rounds, Valdez has a 121-60 connect advantage. He had the left hook that scored the knockdown in the 5th. A low blow point deduction against Velez in the 9th, so seemingly he's well ahead on the scorecards. But Dre, you've described this as a performance that does not bring about a lot of confidence or consistency.
Well, not if you got a full-fledged 130-pounder named Miguel Burchelt in the wings on the other side of this fight. If it wasn't for that, maybe I'd say, okay, this is another good building moment for Oscar Valdez. He'll go back to the drawing board and maybe he'll do better next time. When you got Burchelt, who is a train with no breaks, waiting for you, this isn't the performance you want right before you face him.
What a perfect description of Miguel Burchelt.
Stop.
See what the problem with Oscar Valdez right now is? You see,
never been stopped.
Valdez, he's stepping back. He'll make Velez miss, but then he doesn't make him pay. So what does Velez do? He just continues to let his hands go. He gets comfortable, just throwing shots like that. If Valdez was to counter every time Velez would throw a punch, he'd be a lot more successful, and he'll stop him from coming forward.
Oh, there's a left hook to the temple, and now, with a minute and a half to go, we'll see if Valdez can take advantage, and instead it's Jason Velez who steps to him.
know, it's funny. Valdez was hurt right there for a second, and then what did he do? His natural instinct. That's we as fighters. That's what we do. We step towards danger.
Run to the roar.
That's why sometimes you got to step back. Exactly.
Run to the roar.
But you know, you have Tess.
He goes down that time with a short left hook on the inside. He's been wide open, stepping to the inside for the last couple rounds.
6, 7.
He's exhausted.
8. Yeah, está bien. Okay, I'll give you a chance.
Second time he's been down from a left hook. Let's see if he can survive these last 45 seconds. Off balance again, and that will do it. It's going to be a 10th round TKO for Oscar Valdez.
Ladies and gentlemen, here inside MGM Grand, referee Tony Weeks calls a stop to this bout at 2 minutes, 23 seconds of round number 10. Declaring your winner by technical knockout, Oscar Valdez!
Oh my! Explosive!
Any champion out there, I heard Shakur Stevenson wants to fight. Let's do it.
Oscar Valdez, I'm coming. I don't care about none of y'all. What's up?